an op-ed piece in the LA Times is entitled "Hillary, I Love You, but Please Go Away." It was written by Melissa Bachelor Warnke. It's pretty refreshing. This woman who's the journalist here talks about she voted for Hillary. She's a feminist, big supporter of Hillary, and is like, this book to her, we don't need it. She talks about the book a little bit. Oh, she makes some decent points, but she says the book, anyone that didn't like Hillary, the Trump people are going to not. No one that hated, the Trumpers that hated her are not going to read this book and change their mind. And the Bernie progressives aren't going to be like, yay! I mean, Jimmy Dore talked about this book on Aggressive Progressives and Jimmy Dore show, and both times I was there, it was maddening to listen to these excerpts of this book. And it just the book itself is another example of Hillary not taking responsibility for anything and blaming it on Bernie Sanders. And it's just unbelievable. She ran a shitty campaign. She didn't campaign. I'm sick of having to say this, but Hillary won't ever admit this. She won't ever go, yeah, I didn't campaign in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. I blew it. Democratic Party cheated the primary out of Bernie Sanders. They cheated. No one wants to say that. So, but this neoliberal feminist who clearly was like, I'm a feminist, so I'm going to vote for Hillary, first female president. And I think that blinded a lot of women. When I talk to all these Bernie supporter women, they're like, what? Why would I? No, I want progressive policy. And then many of them were chastised by Clinton women as like, oh, you won't support your fellow women? It's like, no, we're talking policy. You're talking identity politics. And it's just like, we want policy that works, that makes the country better. Just saying, wow, look at how diverse we are because we have a female president. If she's in favor of Goldman Sachs and bombing and, deregulating banks, what does it matter? It doesn't matter at all. It's just preposterous. You want to fight the patriarchy. Yes, there's still a patriarchy, but there's plenty of women that have gotten into power and have done awful things. Condoleezza Rice. Look at Nikki Haley, the head of the UN right now. The UN ambassador is just like to Korea. It's just like, we got to bomb. We got to Korea war with Korea. And what this article, it makes good sense. And she says, it's not the book that bothers me. It's the accompanying media tour. It's the inevitable distraction from issues on which Democrats are finally pushing forward. It's a refracturing of Clinton supporters and those of Bernie Sanders, a scratching at old wounds that are finally starting to heal and redrawing divisions between organizations that are beginning to build together. Trump shores up his base by attacking others, and having Clinton back on the scene gives Trump prime ammunition. And this is an excellent point that this journalist makes, is Trump is starting to kind of erode. Some of his supporters, like the diehard ones, are going to ride him, to the grave. But some of them are starting to go, I wasn't a huge fan of Trump, but I voted for him because he was the lesser of two evils. Those people are starting to go, man, I don't know if this guy's right for us. There's some people, his approval rating is pretty low. There's people going, what is he doing? He's threatening nuclear war. And, and the minute the economy takes a turn, which I don't want it to take a turn, but I have seen no indication that it's going anywhere other than down. You look at the student loan bubble, the housing bubble, the carbon bubble, the car loan bubble, all things I've talked about on this show. I don't see how it's going to. The banks are acting exactly as they did before the 2008 crash. When that happens, they're going to blame Trump. But then you got Hillary back out there, and she's like, if she can run in 2020, she will. She's that nuts. She already lost. You lost in 2008. Why did she get to run again? Why were there no other women running against her in the primary? It drives me crazy. But I think the fact that she just keeps doing interview after interview and now this book where she refuses to take responsibility. Jimmy Dore, I was on Aggressive Progressives and the Jimmy Dore show where he showed excerpts of this book, and it's maddening. It's maddening. This book is maddening because she refuses to take responsibility. She is just a narcissist. She can't say, I screwed up. Neither her nor her husband can do that. Unless, even if they do, it's some strategic plan to do it. They can't just say, she can't say, I didn't campaign in Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania. It was a stupid, stupid mistake. She can't say that. It's like her staff. You see the Podesta emails are like, no, she shouldn't do that. She's making a mistake, like on and on. But the fact that a writer in a very, a corporate Democrat publication as the LA Times says this stuff, that we're starting to get together and to defeat Trump, and his base is weakening, and people are starting to realize this. She says in her article, she says, I too was exceptionally upset at Sanders supporters who didn't vote for Clinton in the general election. The first time I saw a close friend who fits that description after Trump won, I was so spitting mad I literally could not speak. Right, and she says, that was 10 months ago. We're in a different place now. We have to be. Good, because you're finally realizing that the Democratic arrogance of, we cheated this guy out of a primary, so now you have to vote for us because Trump is so evil. You're finally realizing how offensive that is, how a lot of people said, the hell with you. The hell with you. You blame Jill Stein, you blame everybody else but yourself. That's the problem all of us have, and this book just brings all of that back up, and it reminds us that we can't trust the Clintons or the Democratic Party. But when I read stuff like this, the fact of the matter is that many of Sanders supporters, Democrats and independents alike, would vote for Democratic candidates if they embraced more progressive policies. Yes, we've been saying this for a long time, and you in the corporate media need to start pushing this. If you really want to write more op-ed pieces where you say these things, Democrats have been ceding ground to conservatives, losing easy local and national races for years. As someone who's generally sat on the center left, even I had to look at our party after the presidential election and think, hell, we made all these policy compromises to win and we lost anyhow. So why not push for what we really want now? What's the worst that can happen? Yes. Amen. Amen. And you can't have the Clintons around. Embrace the fact everybody hates them. Embrace the fact so many people just can't stand the Clintons. Look at what they did in Haiti. Bill Clinton repealed Glass-Steagall. He helped empower the banks to create the situation that happened in 2008. He was one of the presidents that helped do that. She got paid to speak for Goldman Sachs. That should have offended you, but you didn't lose your house, so it probably didn't. It offended me because I lost my house because of policies from Obama and Bush. Obama, who I voted for twice. So Melissa, I'm glad you're coming to this realization, and I wish you would put more articles out like this, because and realize how much of a narcissist she was. And I would love to see a female president. If it was Nina Turner, I would be the best thing I could ever see. That would, because I want a progressive in there. That's what I want. I don't just want someone that fits some sort of like, oh, look how diverse we are image. I want a real progressive. I want a real progressive. And as you just said, let's get someone that actually fights for everything that we want instead of keeps conceding. We keep conceding, and that is the problem. FDR warned about this in 1940. Don't abandon the left. Don't abandon the worker. Don't move to the right. Don't move to the center. Stay left. Stay progressive. Stay populist. Look, instead of everyone's it makes me so frustrated. And these Clintonites, they get so mad at Bernie. No. Look at what he did. That's how you win. That'll rally the whole country. You know how many people, Trump supporters, would have voted for Bernie? That idea, Bernie wouldn't have won. How do you know? I tell you what, he would have campaigned in Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania. So I get all mad because the Clintons won't go away. They won't go away. They're corporatists. They're pro-war. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is the policy. This is who she is and what she voted for. She voted against $15 an hour when she was on the board at Walmart. Walmart is so anti-union. Okay? She voted for the Patriot Act. She voted for the war in Iraq. As Secretary of State, she helped Obama take us from 2 wars to 7. See, that's why I didn't vote for Hillary, not because I hate women. Because I would love, if Nina Turner and Tulsi Gabbard ran together in 2020, I'd vote for them. But I'm not voting for Nancy Pelosi and Elizabeth Warren. I'm not voting for Chelsea Clinton and Kamala Harris. I'm not voting for them. I'm not voting for Chuck Schumer. I'm not voting for Howard Dean. I'm not voting for any of those, Tim Kaine, any of those assholes, because they're corporate Democrats. Get rid of the gender, get rid of the ethnicity, and look at who they are, who they vote for. And then take this stupid book that Clinton and get it out of our lives. Thank you, Melissa, for actually speaking up as someone that's a feminist that voted for Hillary Clinton. Thank you. and have more of your friends wake up to this fact, because we keep wanting to move forward, but we keep seeing the Democratic Party smear and shun progressives, which is why we're all abandoning the Democratic Party. So thanks for watching to this show. Like and subscribe. I'm going to put the links to grahamelwood.com below, because I've got some tour dates coming up in October. I'm coming to San Francisco. I'm coming to the Chicago area, the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. I'm going on the road a little bit more. So check that out. And of course, you can buy Earbuds, the podcasting documentary that's now available on iTunes and Amazon and all those platforms here in North America. It goes internationally in October. So grahamelwood.com. Boom, 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 boom. Thanks for watching.